Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'll be talking about the Philadelphia 76ers and what I think they need to do to become a relevant NBA franchise again. This on another episode of So, the Philadelphia 76ers. This has been one of the worst seasons in recent memory, and it's been plagued by injuries, it's been plagued by drama, it's been plagued by everything going wrong. So, this is what being at the bottom feels like. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about what they can do to become somewhat relevant moving forward. First off, on the positive side of things, Tyrese Maxey's amazing. He is by far the best player on that team. I don't care what anyone says, he's the best player on the Sixers. And that's a good thing, because that means, okay, Sixers, you have your core piece. Build around him going forward. Maxey is your star. He's the most reliable. He's the most consistent. He's your star. Build around him. Don't build around anyone else. Just him. Focus on him. He is the reason you've had any success this year. I think on most other teams, he'd still be top two best players on that team. So he's amazing. And I think the Sixers need to focus on him moving forward. Now we get to the more kind of players, the bad side of things. And let's talk about Paul George. So, Paul George, the Sixers gave him quite a big contract ahead of the 2024-2025 season. And at the time, it looked decent. It looked like an okay decision. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, given his age. But, you know, maybe it would work out. It didn't. He's been injured. He's been inconsistent. He's sometimes been the worst player on the court for the Sixers. I don't think he earned that contract at all. And I don't know what the Sixers were thinking in hindsight. Because Paul George might have been the second worst mistake they've made in recent years in terms of roster construction. And when Tobias Harris left and they brought in Paul George, I was kind of happy. I've been upset with Tobias Harris for years, not living up to his contract. And then they just bring in him, but worse. And I think that's what Paul George is. So to get better, I think the Sixers need to get rid of Paul George. Just get him out of there. Get him out, trade him for what you can get. Draft some young people, bring in some free agents. And some younger free agents that can build around Tyrese Maxey. And that's what you need to do with Paul George. So I guess at this point in the video, we need to talk about the main player the 76ers need to address to get better in the 2025-2026 season. And that is Embiid. So Embiid, he went to the Paris Olympics. And that's the stories. He went there. His injuries got tweaked again, came back not fully healthy, and has been wildly unavailable, injury prone, and inconsistent this season. And that's the story that everyone's sort of giving us. So, what about Embiid? Is he really that bad now that he's hurt all the time and you need to baby him? I think at this point, Embiid needs to either be traded for a lot of draft picks or just be cut. With him on the team, the Sixers will never win a championship. They will never go anywhere with Joel Embiid as their leader. Honestly, this is nothing controversial to say, especially when he came out earlier in the 2024-25 season and said that he wouldn't play back-to-back games. And you don't want that on the team. You don't want your leader being like that. That is a bad mentality to have on the team, especially because of the message it sends to the other players. What kind of message do the other players get if the leader's saying that he's perfectly willing to take a decent portion of the season's games off just because he doesn't feel like it? Injuries or otherwise. It doesn't send a good message, and it can't be good for team morale. So, why should you keep a player like that on the team? Especially because his what you can get for him in a trade is probably still decently high, even after this season where he's been the cause of the Sixers' downfall. And you might as well trade him now. Get what you can get at, because he's only going to get older, and the older people get, the more injury prone they're going to get. So jump ship while you can, while the getting's good. Get what you can and get out. But to boil it down, what I think the Sixers need to be better in 2025, 26 is this. The Sixers need to get rid of Embiid, get rid of Paul George, get whatever they can for them, even if it's less than what people would think is desirable. And then build the team around Maxey, bring in younger people, bring in people that better fit what Tyrese Maxey can do for that team, and build around him for moving forward. Because until they do that, the process will continue, and the process is the single worst decision the Sixers ever made. With that being said, guys, please like, share, subscribe down below, comment, give me your thoughts. If you want to see me talk about the NBA more, please let me know. And I'll see you next time.